Hi, I'm bigcal, and welcome to my world. Today, another recent video games pickups video. So, was it February? I think now, February, March, somewhere like that. I decided to go through to some local retro game shops. Started off with a couple in Sheffield, and then a couple of weeks later, I went to Doorway to Dorkness. I have not been to this one in a couple of years now. In fact, last time I went, they were in a different location. Now they've moved literally just next door, but to a much, much bigger store. And obviously, I've still been buying stuff online from them. But yeah, I finally decided I want to go to the store. So I went on their website, as you can order online as well. And I put together a huge wish list over a period of time. And then the day before I was going to go, I thought, okay, let's get my wish list, write it down so I know what I've got, and I'll go in store and look for everything. My wish list had disappeared from the website. It was this weird thing with the website where I went to log in, and it's like, oh, you need to change your password. It's like, okay. I logged in, and then the wish list wasn't there. A couple of days later, it did return, weirdly. But yeah, so I went without the wish list, and that was a very, very, very bad idea, because now I no longer had in my head what it was I was going for. And if you've seen that they do some videos online showing stuff off, or if you look at pictures or whatever on the website, they've got so much stuff there, and everything is just just walls of games, talking like shelving units this high, so they're even higher than this one, all full of games, and I'm only short. And honestly, I was very stressed out and had anxiety when I was in there. There's just so much stuff, it was kind of overwhelming. I just wasn't really feeling it as well, because my wish list had gone, so I wasn't sure what I was looking for. I thought I remembered some stuff on my wish list. Turns out I was thinking of a different system entirely, so I was looking through these shelves of this particular one system, couldn't find any of the games that were in my head. It's like, what's going on here? Turns out I was looking at PS3, I meant to look at Wii. Yeah, so I was just getting flustered, and I wasn't comfortable. If you have anxiety and things like that, you probably know what I mean. It just happens. It's just stupid things like that. Yeah, so I wasn't really feeling it. So I only picked up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games while I was there. The next day, when my wish list came back, I made a rather large online order of everything that I wanted, pretty much. Yes, so let's just start by going through the stuff then that I did buy while I was in store. Almost entirely original Xbox games. So, firstly, I got, for some reason, CT Special Forces Fire for Effect. Okay, so back during episode 104, I talked about a demo disc for the original Xbox, which had a demo for this game on it. And this is what I said. Yeah, okay, so it seems that my brain saw the game sitting on the shelf, remembered me talking about it in a previous video, but not what I actually said about it. I will say, though, that after playing some of the tutorial in the full game, rather than just playing the demo, just being thrown into a level, I didn't think it was as bad as before, though it still isn't great. Notice, though, how I said some of the tutorial. I played for 20 minutes, and I still didn't finish the tutorial. It seems like the game really does try to throw far too much at you and explain everything at once at the very beginning of the game. And honestly, it just made my eyes glaze over and not remember half the stuff. So I can't imagine I would go into the game remembering it all and having that much fun. Just like, just don't give me a huge info dump of everything, just tell me the new stuff per level as I need it. And that way I'll use it in a level, remember I've used it, and it might stick in my brain a little better. Yeah, so added it to the collection. The 2D CT Special Forces games, really fun. I've got the first one on the Game Boy Advance, and then I have the first one on the PS1, which is just the PS1 port. It looks and plays a bit better, obviously, but yeah, really fun games. Just avoid the 3D ones. Next then we have Gunmetal. A game I wasn't familiar with until recently. Gunmetal sees you fending off enemy forces as a mech that can transform into a jet. Unlike the previous game that had a never-ending tutorial, Gunmetal throws you straight into the deep end and you have to try to figure out things yourself. Attacking as a mech is easy enough, though the game kept suggesting I use missiles, but none of the buttons I pressed seemed to fire them. Becoming a jet is a letdown as it's just slow as hell, unless there's a boost that I just don't know about, but like with the missiles, I pressed every button to try and never got one. And shooting is okay until you have to turn around and go back again, because it's just so slow and cumbersome. Reading up on the controls and spending more time in this game will likely help, but first impressions sadly weren't too great. Yeah. I'm certainly willing to give this one another go. Like I said, actually reading the manual, I learned a bit more about the game, because the concept is fun. Yeah, maybe there's a fun game in there. Like I said, when I do these videos, when I talk about the games, it is very much a first impression stuff. I put the game in and I press start or whatever, load new game, and just jump straight into it. I don't read up about them. I don't look at the controls unless the other game actually tells you them. I just go in and have a very basic first impression of the game. That's what I talk about. Because for the most part, that's all I get for a lot of these games. I buy all these games, I test them out, record the game footage, and a lot of them sit on the shelf for years until I get around to actually playing them. Right. Next then we have Metal Arms Glitch in the System. A third-person action game where you play as Glitch, a unique robot with no memory, and is recruited to fight in a robot rebellion. The humour and presentation kind of reminds me of Ratchet & Clank, but the action isn't nearly as fun, or at least early in the game it isn't. Your weapon at the beginning can only be fired for a short period of time before needing to recharge, which definitely kills the fun. I would have liked to have played more of this to see how it hopefully improves, but it was the last game I played out of all the Xbox games I was trying out, and my brain was honestly just exhausted from CT's never-ending tutorial. Yeah, so definitely a good game in here. Just need to play a lot more and open it up and access some new weapons and things. There's a lot more fun, it looks like. Yeah, so check this one out. It's not only on Xbox as well. Yeah. Next up then we have Evil Dead Regeneration. Poor Ash is locked up in a mental institution after events involving everyone's favourite book, The Book of the Dead. Sadly, his doctor now has the book, and while trying to use it to take over the world, he unleashes, you guessed it, an army of the dead. It's time to hack, slash, shoot, and puzzle solve your way to saving the world. Yeah, I didn't spend enough time with this really to say anything more, but very much looking forward to playing it. Hack and slashy game with lots of cool moves. Obviously, you get a chainsaw on one of your arms, and that's just awesome. Who doesn't want to slice apart zombies and evil dead creatures with a chainsaw? Everyone wants to do that, surely. Not just me. Of course it isn't. It's everybody. Isn't it? And lastly then, for original Xbox games that I picked up, one that I've been very interested in grabbing for a long time now, it is Metal Dungeon. Metal Dungeon is one of the very, very few turn-based RPGs on the original Xbox, which is what appealed to me. Sadly, it might be one of the worst games in my entire Xbox collection, which currently sits at 136 games. It starts off with some promise, with custom characters for your party, but you quickly discover just how basic it all is. Then you get into the gameplay, and it's even worse. Movement is dreadful, environments are dull, and the combat is as basic as 8-bit RPGs. Maybe even less so. I gave it a shot, but I very quickly ran into an enemy who took out 4 of my 5 party members with ease, and I just turned the game off. Yeah, very disappointed with this one. Yeah, definitely paid far too much for the game for what it is. Didn't cost a tremendous amount or anything, but yeah, it definitely isn't worth it. And then lastly, for games that I bought while I was in store, is for the Nintendo Entertainment System, Darkwing Duck. Darkwing Duck is a Capcom game that plays pretty much like another Capcom game, Mega Man. As a result, this is a pretty good game, albeit with some difficulty thrown in. You can pick between 3 levels at the start, then you head off into the city to jump, shoot and climb your way to the boss at the very end. Very fun game, very happy to add it to my NES collection. Yeah, so Darkwing Duck. I think this was the priciest game I bought. Yeah, so $42.99 says right there on the back. That was the most expensive game I picked up. But yeah, it's kind of sought after, obviously for that price. And yeah, it's a very good game as well. It's not like those more expensive games that are absolutely crap. It's actually a very fun game. Obviously it's made by Capcom. It's got the whole 8-bit Disney games tend to be really good. So yeah, very happy to add that to the collection. Right then, just move my notes aside. Let's figure out where I am. Okie dokie. Yep, so let's look in this massive box here at the games that I bought online from my wish list. So we'll start with 2 that I don't have footage for because they are Kinect games, and I'll set that up once when I do a video on Kinect games, and I only have to set it up once, play through all the games, get footage, and then put it away forever. So we have there was a Nat Geo America the Wild. It's a quiz game, obviously. I do believe I own the Wii version of this. It is a fun quiz game. I imagine the whole point of the Kinect bit is you just point at the screen for your answer, like you would with the Wii remote. Yeah, added to the collection. And then we have Dr. Kawashima's Body and Brain Exercises. Obviously, his Dr. Kawashima's games on the DS were very, very popular for improving your mind, even though I think scientifically it turned out they weren't actually doing anything to improve your mind. But yeah, this one is mind and body, so you exercise and answer questions. Don't think I'm going to like that one. Right then, finally, let's start with a game that I can talk about, I did get to play, and that is the Xbox 360, The Club. The Club is a third-person shooter where you participate in an underground murder sport that sees you racing to the end of a course on foot, racking up as many kills as possible for a high score. Seems the game is more of an online and co-op multiplayer game at heart, which did kind of disappoint me because for years I always thought this was an open world story-driven game. Whoops! Yeah, no idea what the game is that I actually thought this was, but The Club is not it. Bit of a shame there. Right. Let's get notes again out of the way. Let's get now to some Mega Drive games. We'll start off with another game that I thought was something different. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. The SNES game of the same name has been on my want list for years now, and it's just never been at a price I'd like it to be. So when I saw this version for cheap, I figured, why not? Beat-em-ups were great on the Mega Drive, so it'll be fine. Except this isn't simply the Mega Drive version of the SNES game. Instead, it's a bloody fighting game. And not a very good one in my opinion. I did terrible at it. I really should research more before I buy stuff. Yeah, that one's on me. Right then. And next up we have a game that I'd never heard of before, but I did actually look into it because, like I said, with that one, I thought I knew what that was, so I didn't bother researching. This one, I had no clue, so I looked into it, seemed fun, picked it up, and that is Combat Cars. A Micro Machine style racing game with weapons and upgrades similar to the Super Off-Road games. It is a little awkward at first, but with some practice I was having fun and winning. Yeah, Combat Cars for the Mega Drive. Pretty fun game, I've not heard of it, still really cheap, pick it up if you see it. Right then, PlayStation 3 game, I do have a tiny bit of footage for this from what I could play before it started asking me for specific controllers. But yeah, that is The Shoot. Yeah, you do need the camera along with the Move controller to actually get it to work. So I haven't actually tested it playing, but I did load it up and get a nice cutscene. And yeah, it's definitely a game that I want to play in the future. Yeah, The Shoot. You shoot things. But of course you need the camera, so that's a bit of a shame. I don't really like how move the shooting games. Some you need the camera, some you don't. And they never really seem to tell you, like, here, it does show you with the camera on it. But there are games where it shows you needing the camera, and you don't. And it gets confusing, and I never know which is which until I load it up and find out. So, yeah. Right then. So, as I mentioned at the start with my wish list, and when I went in and I was looking at the wrong games, I was looking at PS3 games, and I should have been looking at Wii games. Let's go through all the Wii games. I'm going to be pretty quick with all of these. I'm not going to talk about all of them, just a couple at the end, because there are a lot, and I am saving them for a big video, hopefully, in the future. And you can probably figure out what the theme of the video is by all of the different games that I show off. So, yeah, let's start then with Wacky World of Sports. Yeah, then we have Summer Athletics. I don't like athletics, and the summer is too hot. Maybe the game's good. Family Ski and Snowboarding. You can also use the balance board for that one. Then we have 50 Great Games, Family Party, Winter Fun. I don't know if that's one of those. There's a couple where what you see on the spine or what you see on the cover is completely different to what the game actually loads up. When they put the disc in, it has a different name. It's very weird. Yeah, World Sports Party. Party games and sports all over the world. Although it's mostly British sports, just set in locations across the world. Yeah. Mountain sports. Sport on mountains. What keep me dropping. Game Party 3. 19 hit games. Winter Sports 2008. Just going to put these down over there. Too many to hold down. Winter Sports 2009. Stop falling over. Big family games. Not little, not medium. Big family games. Sports Island. Think I might own that one on the Xbox 360 for the Kinect. And same with Sports Island 2. We also have, this one is definitely one that has a different name. So, oops, 100 Party Games. Called something completely different when you put the disc in. It's very weird. That's a very weird title as well to begin with. Yeah. Summer Sports Party. And if you're like me and don't like the summer, how about just regular Sports Party? This one is a little bit different to all the rest, but it looked interesting, and that is My Sims Racing. Always looking for fun little kart races to see if there are any hidden gems out there. Then we have EA Playground. Includes dodgeball. Whoa. Put those there. Right. Then we have Big Beach Sports. Again, big, not little or medium. And if that's not enough for you, Big Beach Sports 2. Now including more beach sports. Just throw those over there. And then lastly we have a couple that I will talk about. Starting with Go Vacation. So in Go Vacation you explore an island to find minigames. And you can use a jet ski to get around, though it is certainly no wave race on N64. I only played, I think, 2 little games on this. One was part of the jet ski, and the other one was a weird bungee jumping game where you have to stop yourself from hitting the floor, and you get points for matching a certain distance. Very, very weird. Especially because I had no clue what I was doing and somehow got a new record by nearly hitting the floor. Very weird game. Yeah, so, yeah. Well, definitely looking forward to having a dive into that. It's made by Namco, of all people, so you never know, there might be something good in there. Right, and then we have Water Sports. And yeah, they're definitely going for a sort of a Nintendo Wii Sports style look. You know, the Wii sports titles and things, even with the spine and everything. Like, yeah, no, this is not made by Nintendo. It really isn't. And yeah, you can tell it's not made by Nintendo when you get in and play it, and it kind of plays like shit. It's definitely attempting to be sort of wave racy here, but no, just go play Wave Race. In fact, one thing I will say is that it does at least control better than the jet ski on Go Vacation. Yeah. So, we'll dig into water sports soon, hopefully. Well, I will. Who knows when the video will come out. And lastly then, we have very weird one, Celebrity Sports Showdown. Starring most people I've never heard of. Yeah, this has a really strange mix of celebrities, from Avril Lavigne to Sugar Ray Leonard, and then, like I said, a whole bunch of people I have never heard of. I only played the one mini game, which was it's kind of like the Gladiators game, where you have to knock them with a big thing. You'll see the footage. Easier for me to explain when you're seeing the footage and I'm not. Yeah. The controls just felt really, really awkward, and there was just no real feedback from when I was winning and hitting and anything. It just felt really strange. Yeah, so maybe some of the mini games are good, maybe they're not, and maybe one day I'll find out who all of the people on the cover are. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, so those are all the Wii games. I got a fuck ton of them. I think I got 30. I ordered 31. I either ordered 30 or 31, and one of them wasn't in stock. So, yeah, trust me, it wasn't a very good one. But, right. So, let's just see what else I have in the box. We have 2 games left for the Nintendo Entertainment System, both American versions, American cartridges, and the first one is Anticipation. A Rare game. Yes, it was made and developed by Rare, that for some reason was left out of the Rare Replay collection. And this is a mix between Trivial Pursuit and Pictionary. You move a piece around a board, land on a colour, and then you have to collect that colour by answering the dot-to-dot picture as it slowly unravels. Sometimes, yeah, it's really easy to see what the drawing is. Sometimes you're left completely baffled. But then when you check the game footage, like with this one I'm showing on the screen now, it became painfully obvious what it was. Just in the moment, I could not for the life of me think of it. Yeah, so an interesting mix-up of 2 types of game genres, and yes, pretty fun. I like quiz games, so I picked that one up. And then lastly, we have MTV Remote Control. This is a quiz game based on TV shows. And it was actually a TV show on MTV in America in the late 80s. Other countries, I believe, did get a version, including the UK in the early 90s, though I've never actually seen it. Anyway, it is pretty basic, but it does offer up multiple choice answers rather than typing them out, which a lot of other quiz games at the time tended to do. And that's a horrible experience when you're trying to quickly type something in before the timer runs out. It also helps that I actually knew some of the answers to the questions in this. Yeah, so not a bad quiz game, and I definitely like that you don't have to type out the answer in it. So much easier. Whew. Yeah, so a lot of games there, from a trip to the actual store and then a trip to online. And yeah, I probably am just going to stick to buying online from them in the future, because like I said, I didn't have a fun experience in the actual store. That was down to me having anxiety and all this other things. So, yeah, definitely go check them out though. Like I said, they have a massive store with a couple of different rooms, lots and lots of game stuff, and some merchandise and things like that as well. So definitely check them out, or check out their website. And yeah, buy lots of games. So, I'm bigcal. Thanks for watching. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of my pickups today. Let me know what you bought recently, and I'll see you again next time.